My negligence cost my partner her life, and I'm about to lose everything. I, 35 male, have been married to Lisa, 28 female, for 3 years, together 7. A year ago, I fell deeply in love with Amy, 24 female, and had been planning to end my marriage for her. I know it's terrible and not what my wife deserves, but we were the real thing. 2 weeks ago, she had an allergic reaction when we were getting food after work, but she used her EpiPen and seemed mostly okay afterwards. She usually gets checked at the hospital after a reaction, but I asked if I could take her home and she could get her friend to drive her there because my wife was expecting me back. All I know is that she had a secondary reaction that evening and died. I didn't even find out about it until the following Monday through a work email. It has been eating me up ever since, and I will never forgive myself for not sacrificing an hour of my time to possibly save her. I sent some childish messages to Amy when I didn't hear from her over the weekend because I thought she was angry I didn't take her to the hospital. I am thankful she never saw them and ashamed that I assumed the worst. Our relationship was great and the highs far outweighed the lows, but I have always hated being ignored and I lose my cool when it happens. It is not a regular occurrence and I would have more than made it up to her. Yesterday at work, HR and legal were in the CEO's office all day, and my manager ended up canceling our project meeting because he was with them all afternoon. I was on edge, but an affair isn't exactly a corporate crisis, and I thought something would have already happened if anyone knew. I am now 99% certain it was about me. A few hours ago, I received a message from Amy's phone which said, "This is Amy's brother, Tom. I want you to know it was me." I tried to call, but it went straight to voicemail, and none of my messages have been delivered. I tried to call my manager more times than I should have, and he sent a message saying, "Please don't contact me until Monday morning. I can't discuss anything with you right now." So it looks like my universe is going to collapse. I am going to be fired, and my wife will definitely find out why. All I can do is hope that Amy's brother only showed them the messages from that weekend, and they were bad enough. I have no family except my wife and daughter and nowhere to go. All of my friends are either people I've met through my wife or my colleagues. On Monday, everything I've spent over a decade working towards disappears. I can't stop it. I can't talk to anyone about it. So here I am. I know cheaters are the devil, so I'm not expecting sympathy, but this is making my chest hurt and I need to get it out there. Update: 1 week later, I am suffering in the wake of my infidelity and unprofessional behavior as I knew I would. I understand that it is an appropriate outcome, and I am taking full accountability. I was suspended from work on Monday, and I'll probably be fired sooner than I thought. I'd hoped to be able to save money as HR built their case, but it looks like Amy's brother basically performed the entire investigation for them. After an excruciating 3-hour run-through of everything they had, I spoke to the founder, and he recommended the solicitor I am now using. The issue is that the company has to come down hard to protect themselves, because even though Amy's family doesn't have much chance of a claim, any suggestion of a cover-up could cause damage regardless. The founder still thinks my offer to pay them back will keep it out of court, and some more information has come to light, so it's not certain I won't be prosecuted, but I'm quietly hopeful. I can't afford to keep the solicitor if this goes much further, especially with a divorce on the horizon. Things are not good with my wife. I'm still committed to making this as easy as possible for her, but I had to draw a line when it came to my daughter. When I got home from being unceremoniously escorted out of my office, she already had a bag packed for me. She wouldn't let me wait at the house until my daughter was back. She wouldn't let me check I had everything I needed. She wouldn't let me take the car, and she didn't care that I had nowhere to go. I spent 2 nights in a hotel, then went back when she refused to let me see my little girl. She tried to stop me, but we own the house jointly, and it was my only option. My wife has family she could stay with, but she won't leave our daughter here, and she's absolutely not taking her, so we're at a stalemate right now. I'm keeping out of her way as best I can, which I appreciate is the least I can do. The Amy situation is quite difficult to talk about, and a lot hasn't sunk in yet. It turns out that she didn't love me as much as I loved her, if at all. Her brother sent me images of her talking to her friends about me, and it's hard to believe they came from the person I loved, but they are real. Sorry to those who were heavily invested in me being a predatory abuser, but she and her friends had a good laugh about her manipulating me for money and a promotion. The role came with a big pay rise, and it looks like her plan was to treat it as free cash, then go work with one of her friends when it fell through. She knew I'd come under scrutiny whenever she messed up and assumed I'd keep stepping in to save her. She was right. Obviously, I am completely humiliated. I was planning to give up everything to build a life with her, and she was treating me like a joke the whole time. My feelings are complicated, so please don't feel entitled to any expansion on this, but I no longer feel guilt over her death. Reddit acted like I kept her hostage whilst she begged for help. What actually happened was that I asked if she could ask her friend to take her to the hospital because I had to go home. She said that was fine because she needed to get some clothes back from her anyway, and I dropped her off as normal. Ultimately, she was an adult who had a better understanding of her medical needs than I did. I still don't know what happened between us saying goodbye and her death, but whatever it was, it had nothing to do with me. I'm sorry for her family's loss, but I bear no responsibility for her passing. After Amy's messages to her friends were passed around, a few people quietly reached out with words of support. I assumed everyone would write me off like Reddit did, as an abuser and predator. Now it's clear that Amy was using me. They see me as a fool who had then lost it all. It's beyond humiliating, but I have learned I'd rather be pitied than despised, and it improves my legal position with work. They're small mercies, but I'll take what I can get. I remain filled with regret, and I will have learned many lessons by the time I get through this. I may have been deceived, but I am a grown man who made my choices, and I take full responsibility for them. I am currently suspended from work, but will certainly be fired. It's unclear whether I am in serious legal trouble. My wife and I are not navigating the end of our relationship brilliantly, but for my daughter's sake, we will get better. Amy turned out to be a better manipulator than she was a project manager, and her brother outed her whilst trying to ruin me. Life is deservedly hard right now, but I'm working through it. Am I the jerk for telling my ex what I was going to get him for his birthday, after he broke up with me over cheese? I, 44 female, and my ex, 43 male, had been together for just over 10 years. Every day of those 10 years, he told me how beautiful I was and how lucky he was to have me. Yes, we had arguments, but overall, our relationship felt like everything I had always wanted. For context, in 2015, I got into a car accident which caused me minor injuries, and I gained about 30 pounds of stress weight, to which put me in around 5'3" and 165 pounds. In 2019, I got into another car accident that exacerbated previous injuries. Due to that, we didn't have intimacy as often because of my injuries, or so I thought. 4 years into our relationship, we got into an argument where he mentioned my weight gain and said he wasn't as attracted to me anymore. It crushed me, but I lost 15 pounds and we went on, him still telling me I was beautiful every day. I asked him on our first date if he's interested in marriage and kids. He says yes. A couple years later, after I'm already head over heels in love, tells me he's absolutely not interested in either. And I spend the rest of our relationship trying to get over the fact that he'll never propose and that I'll never be a mom. Fast forward. We've just celebrated our 10-year anniversary with a 7-day cruise. We talk about forever and how we'll grow old together. We're making plans for future cruises and vacations. We're redoing the house, etc. One morning, we are at a hotel because our house is being worked on. We go to continental breakfast together and I put 1 tablespoon of cream cheese on each side of my bagel. He looks at me like I'm crazy. I take a few bites with him looking on, disgusted. I finish half the bagel and ask him if he'd take the other half to the room and put it in a baggie for me to have later. I don't like to waste. He looks at me like he's about to throw up and says, "Oh my God, you really want to save that?" I say, "Fine," and throw it in the trash, leaving for work without saying goodbye. When he gets home from work later that same evening, he kisses my head and says he's sorry for being a jerk. I tell him he was a colossal jerk and he can't talk to me like that anymore, and that it doesn't feel good when your partner looks at you like they're going to throw up. He then lays into me about how much cream cheese I put on my bagel and it's disgusting, and I eat so much cheese, and he purposely didn't bring cheese to the hotel room, because I will just eat it all. I like cheese on my sandwiches, 1 or 2 slices every few days. He also says he's no longer attracted to the shape of my body. And that's why we haven't been giggitying as often, and that I'm too cluttered. I am. He thinks I'm eating bad, and I'm gaining so much weight, still at 165. We go back and forth because I don't understand the shape of my body, and he says, "Do you not understand geometry? The shape." I tell him there are more constructive ways to tell someone you don't think they're healthy. He says, "Are you honestly happy with the way you look?" I am. "Your stomach sticks out farther than your boobs." I then lay into him because he'll tell me something and then years later, I found out it's a lie. Like how he told me he wanted to get married, then told me he never did. He then says, "I have always wanted to get married and have kids, but not to someone I'm not attracted to." I ask him how long he's felt like this, and he says he's felt like that for a long time. I angrily ask if I lost 30 pounds, if he'd want to marry me then. He says it's not about the number, it's about the shape of my body. Very different from whether I'm in shape. I tell him we can get through this if we go to therapy and communicate. He says we should break up. That was that. On to my question. He is a musician and sound technician. His dream guitar is a Gibson Les Paul. For his birthday at the end of this month, I was going to get him a custom Gibson Les Paul at least $2,000 because he'd been so supportive and amazing during my accident recovery. Would I be the jerk if I sent him an email on his birthday telling him what he would have been getting had he not been a jerk and broken up with me? Edit. Thanks for all the comments and kind words. Just a quick clarification. I think a large amount of people thought I was going to tell him about the guitar to get him back, or that we'd get back together and I'd still give him the guitar. Oh, hell no. No one speaks to me that way and gets me back. I only wanted to tell him about the guitar purely to be a petty B word and make him sad. However, I have decided to not write the aforementioned guitar message. I think it's better for my self-worth to make a clean break, since I only wanted to tell him to be mean. I want him to seriously regret breaking up with me, but I am not a mean person, and thinking the mean thoughts and actually considering doing them gives me the ick. I have to be okay with the fact that he is an a-hole, and he may never regret what he did. And if he does, I'll probably never find out. I'll be okay, and I'll find someone who loves me exactly as I am. My stepbrother is obsessed with my girlfriend, and his mom is sabotaging my relationship. My stepmother is trying to sabotage my engagement to make her son happy. Hi, I'm 24 years old male, my girlfriend is 25 female, let's call her Kara, my dad is 52 male. Toby, my stepmother is Karen, 51 female, and my stepbrother Tom is 36 male. My stepmother had Tom when she was 15-16. Fake names, but I'm going to try and keep it simple. My mother passed away when I was 14, so she isn't in the story. So I met my girlfriend 7 years ago at an anime convention in New York City. I remember we used to work together for an ambulance company. We explorers in different fire, kinda like Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, but little bit different. We worked in the company office doing billing and paperwork. She didn't remember me, but I remember her. She was meeting up with someone else, but he never showed up. We clicked and have been good friends since. Then during the pandemic, I asked her out to date, and we have been together since. Kara is amazing. She loves anime, fantasy novels, science fiction TV shows, and novel, and My Little Pony friendship is magic. She also loves true crime podcasts, not my thing, but it makes her happy. Kara has never met my family when we were friends. Once we started dating, I decided it was time to introduce her to my dad, stepmom, and stepbrother. Everything was so cool. Kara was a hit amongst my family. My stepbrother wouldn't leave her alone, but I thought it was him just getting to know her. My dad and stepmom loved her too. My stepbrother Tom during this time was becoming a little annoying, coming over my apartment more frequently, and texting Kara a lot. She told me, but we felt it wasn't anything to be concerned about. Tom's visit became more and more frequent when Kara and I moved in together. A year after moving in, my stepmother asked if Tom could move in with us, because he is moving out of my dad's house, and this will be the first time he will be living alone, and being with family would help. We have an extra bedroom in the house we are renting. It was a guest bedroom. Kara and myself agreed, as long as it was only for a year at the most. Tom moves in and becomes extremely clingy. He wants to hang out with us every day. Kara and myself, when we get home, like to unwind by playing video games, reading books together, watching movies in bed, or going over to a friend's house and playing D&D. Since Tom has moved, he has been involved in everything. Except when we read together, we read different books on the patio, we just enjoy each other company. Tom will come outside and start talking to yous about whatever, or sit on the couch when we are playing video games together and ask to have a turn. Kara likes to have her alone time to just veg out and listen to music or a podcast and cook. Tom will be in the kitchen and stokes up a conversation, so she isn't able to listen to music or her true crime podcasts. She wasn't complaining about it though, because she does not like confrontations. Tom also would ask to go grocery shopping with Kara. He also would invite himself out with us on our date night. We tried at first to not tell him we were going out. He would cry to his mom and she would say we are not being nice to Tom. This is the first time he is on his own and he is lonely. Tom crossed the line when Kara and myself booked a vacation and he just so happened to book the same cruise as us. That was a huge red flag because it wasn't random. We booked a cruise that was hosting a true crime convention cruise. Tom is not interested in true crime. I am not interested in true crime like Kara. But this was my treat for her. After the events of that cruise, and there was a lot of drama on it, I told Tom and my dad that we need our space and Tom needs to move out. My stepmother did not take this well. Luckily, my dad put his foot down and told Karen it's been 14 months and he needs to find his own place. Tom moved back home with my dad and Karen. We had our peace for a while. Tom was still coming over a lot, but we were avoiding him as much as possible. And we had our own space again. Now for what is happening now. I asked my dad for my mom's wedding ring to propose to Kara. My dad happily gave me the ring, no questions asked, and his wedding ring too for myself. Karen found out, and she had been unpleasant since. She makes comments about Kara being older than me, and she will not have as much time to have children. She said to me that Kara is an older woman, and that is not proper. I told Karen I don't care, and she isn't going to get married to Kara, I am. Tom found out about the engagement, and also has been telling me that Kara isn't right for me. He said I don't understand Kara like he does. He also said we will be divorced in a year of marriage. Well, I planned an engagement party for Kara to purpose, and everything was perfect. I planned a pool party in our backyard with both our friends and family. 2 hours before the party, my dad calls and said that Karen accidentally ate shrimp and had to go to the hospital, and he couldn't come. So I decided to have the party and not pop the question. I wanted my dad with me. The party was fun. I decided to plan a nice dinner for Kara family and mine to celebrate and pop the question. Unfortunately, Karen gets a flat tire upstate and needed my dad to drive upstate to help her 3 hours before the dinner. So I decided to wait. I tried again, and this time I was going to ask Kara at my dad's barbecue party he was hosting. Unfortunately, the night before, my dad's grill was broken, and he had to cancel. So I decided, since we have had a lot of bad luck, to ask Kara on a vacation to Japan. I didn't tell anyone. I had it all planned out and booked a spa day in Japan and asked her. She said yes, and we posted our good news. My dad was so happy. Karen was not. She blew up my phone saying, "How could I do this to Tom?" She told me Tom is in love with Kara and she is his one and only. We are not a good match. Kara is older and much better fit for Tom. I knew Tom had a crush on Kara, but she doesn't like him like that. Karen was calling, texting non-stop, now saying, "Can I just let Tom have Kara?" I called her crazy and told her Kara is a human and she isn't something to be given away. She doesn't belong to anybody. I called my dad and showed him the voicemail and text messages. My dad wasn't shocked, but he is staying at my house because he doesn't know what to do, and he doesn't want to talk about why he left. But Tom and Karen keep driving by the house and trying to call my dad. We blocked both of them. I don't know, but I may get a restraining order, because this is making Kara really uncomfortable. We have cameras and motion sensors lights in the house. Kara's father is a retired police officer. Kara knows how to defend herself. This behavior is unhinged. I want to confront my father about why he left and what he is not telling me. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for daily Reddit stories. All rights belong to the original author. This video is for narration entertainment purposes only.